don't wanna live no more. Sometimes I hear death knocking at my front door. I'm living every day like a hustle, another drug to juggle, another day, another struggle. I know how it feels to wake up, pockets broke as hell, another rock to sell. People look at you like used to users, selling drugs to all the losers, man, Buddha abusers. But they don't know about the stress-filled days, baby on the way, mad bills to pay. That's why you drink Tanqueray, so you can reminisce and wish you wasn't living so devilish. I remember I was just like you, smoking blunts with my crew, flipping old 62s, cause GED wasn't B.O.B. I got P.A.I.D., that's why my mom take me. She was forced to kick me out, no doubt. Then I figured out Nicks went for 20s down south. Packed up my tools for my raw power moves. Glock 19 for casket and flower moves. For chumps trying to stop my flow. And what they don't know will show in the autopsy. Went to see Poppy, they caught me a brick. Asked for some consignment, he wasn't trying to hear it. I'm smoking mad Newports cause I'm doing court for an assault that I caught in Bridgeport, New York. Catch me if you can like the gingerbread man. You better have your gat in hand, cause man, I don't wanna live no more. Sometimes I hear death knocking at my front door. I'm living every day like a hustle, another drug to juggle, another day, another struggle. I don't wanna live no more. Sometimes I hear death knocking at my front door. I'm living every day like a hustle, another drug to juggle, another day, another struggle. I had the master plan, I'm in the caravan on my way to Maryland with my man 2 Tex to take over this project. They call him 2 Tex, he told 2 Tex. And when he start the bus, he like to ask who's next. I got my honey on the Amtrak with the crack in the crack of a 2 pounds of hash in the stash. I wait for her to make some quick cash. I told her she could be Lieutenant Chick, got gas that lasts. I'm literally lounging black, sitting back, counting double-digit thousand stacks. Had to re-up, see what's up with my peeps. Toyota dealer gone, had it cheap on the Jeeps. See who got smoked, what rumors were spread. Last I heard I was dead, with 6 to the head. Then I got the phone call, it couldn't hit me harder. We got infiltrated like Nino at the Carter. Heard Tech got murdered in the town I never heard about. Some shit got word of over nickel-plated burners. And I swear to God she won't snitch. I told her when she hit the bricks I make the hooker rich. Conspiracy, she'll be home in 3. Until then I looks out for the whole family. A true G, that's me, blowing like a bubble in the everyday struggle. I don't wanna live no more. Sometimes I hear death knocking at my front door. I'm living every day like a hustle, another drug to juggle, another day, another struggle. I don't wanna live no more. Sometimes I hear death knocking at my front door. I'm living every day like a hustle, another drug to juggle, another day, another struggle. I'm seeing body after body and I'm here Giuliani. Ain't trying to see no black man turn to John Gotti. My daughter used a potty so she's older now. Educated street knowledge, I'm older now. Trick a little dope, buying young girlfriends, just dealing with the dope fiend binges, seeing syringes in the vein, hard to explain how I maintain. The crack smoke make my brain feel so strange. I'm breaking days off the set, no sweat, drunk off my wet, can't back yet because I'm still wet. But when I drive back in 5 at a time, I can clock about 9 on the check cashing line. I had the first and the third, rehearsed, that's my word, kick in the game, these knew my first name. Should I quit? And no, even though they had me scared, yo, they got an 8, I got a tech with air holes. And it's just how this goes in the struggle, mother. wanna live no more. Sometimes I hear death knocking at my front door. I'm living every day like a hustle. Another drug to juggle. Another day, another struggle.
Here we are, back at it again. The artistry of podcasts with Bo Miles and Fid Lou. But who are we brought to you by? Well, my friends, who asked that? We are brought to you by Bo Knows Music. Yes, Bo Knows Music. Quality online music lessons. Go there today and see the sign that says, please come back. But anyway, go there anyway, okay? Go there and support with the hits. All right? Doesn't matter if you can buy a lesson right now or not. Okay? They're sponsoring this. That means that they need people to go and just check out the page. All right? Now, I know first time you go there, if it's not right, if the store doesn't have your product, you're not going to come back. Well, you cocksuckers, you're coming back. Why? Because one day that cock is going to be hard for you to just... Bo Knows Music. What was that commercial about? Was it about sex? Was it about music? I don't know. But BoKnowsMusic.com. We're also brought to you by Fidloo.com. Pick up an axe, crack the sky with the glorious bass line from heaven itself. Do do ch 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 do 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 boo do do ch 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 do boo do. Fidloo.com. Last, but definitely not least, Butch Howes, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and MMA of Charleston, West by God, Virginia. You want to learn self-defense. You want to just learn to be calm. Take the day by day, feeling good about yourself. Go to advancedbkj.com if you're not in West Virginia. But if you are, yes, there's a place waiting for you. It's 410 Summer Street, Charleston, West Virginia. Come down and get your arm broke like yesterday. No, nobody's gonna break your arm. But come down, learn the ways. If you're not close, go to advancedbkj.com. Advancedbkj.com. Come. And now it is time to begin what some may say is the beginning of the beginning. For the beginning to begin. Now, bitches.
Cue the music. Let me introduce you to Bo Miles, a unique and likable guy. Everyday life, friends and family makes up the
Fid got some of this delicious tea in here, man. It's pretty spicy. It's I don't know if it's ginger.
Clove.
Man, this is some good tea. The podcast is fueled by this tea. This is pretty good, man.
Oh yeah, man. I gotta figure out how to make it.
Yeah, when you find out, man, you definitely gotta let me know, cause yeah, it's good. It is pretty good, man.
Sell that tea, man. People will buy that.
Yeah. Then we have what are these, cashews?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, my daughter, she loves cashews.
Okay, take her some home.
Those are pretty expensive. Those like $13.
No, didn't pay that much for them.
Oh, all right. Yeah, man.
I'll tell you where I got them from after
All right.
the show, because they don't pay us
Yeah, if this is where I think you got it from.
Starts with an A.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, they were like that last time I went to the store, maybe a couple weeks ago, man. It's like
Price?
$15, yeah.
I paid $12.99, I think. For 'em.
Yeah, 12.
And they stick on a food tax here, where I don't know where that's coming from. You got to be taxed to eat. I can see a tax for clothes and other stuff, but a bread tax.
Yeah, man, they got to make their money all over, you know. If you just think about how much, people don't even really imagine, but how much money the government is just bringing in, you know, local and federal. I mean, it's crazy.
A lot of money. Unaccountable for. So, last week I accused the show of increasing my curse words, my profaneness. So, in order to curtail my use of French, I'm going to create a cuss jar. So that every time I say a curse word or a profane word, I'll drop $1 in it. And hopefully Bo will match me if he do the same thing, but I doubt it because he's just profane. So, but we can use the money to buy equipment with.
Yeah, man, that's solid, man. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do the challenge with you, man. Starting now, so I can't be penalized for anything I said leading up.
Okay. Right. Well, your introduction, KSers, right, I'll forgive you for that one.
All right. But starting now.
I mean, anytime you use that one.
Anytime I use what?
I can't say it because then I have to put $1 in.
Oh, all right. Well, yeah, well, I won't say it either. I mean, I'm from this point on, I'm clean until I'm not clean. But, yeah, man.
Well, sometimes it's worth it, that $1.
Mm-hmm.
Just to get a point across.
Yeah, he said sometimes, you just have to
Well,
pay for the finer things.
sometimes you can't get somebody's attention unless you put an MF in your sentence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You can be saying something profane, something that everybody needs to hear. And if it sounds too intellectual for people, they don't want to listen to it. So if you drop a couple of curse words here and there, okay, yeah, this brought down.
Yeah, man. Man, I was doing some research on the chimps, man. Man, they're vicious.
Chimpanzees,
yeah.
They'll tear your face off.
Yeah, man. Like, they are vicious. Like, they'll eat monkey. Like, they'll eat a monkey alive,
While he's still kicking.
Yeah. Yeah, man, I was watching one. It was eating this monkey. And the monkey was, like, groaning, like, he was eating his stomach, like, just ripped his stomach open and just was eating his stomach. Like, the little monkey was still alive, like the chimp, like.
Was it on YouTube?
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if I can YouTube that, man.
Yeah.
Say chimp, CH.
Yeah. Chimps. Chimp eat monkey, or, like, chimp eat monkey alive. Like, man, chimps are, they're vicious, man. And they're strong, They're really strong. And they're the closest relative that we have genetic wise. That they have, our DNA is like 96, 98%
Okay, here it is right here, man.
similar.
44 seconds.
Yeah, go ahead. Check that out, man. But, yeah, man, their DNA is the same, I mean, they have complex social systems like we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I went on a chimp tear, just kind of diving into their world. And it's like, man. Now, whenever, is he eating them?
Yeah, man, he's eating his guts out.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And then
playing with his intestines, and the monkey just sitting there, dying.
Yeah, just like.
Animals are cruel.
I mean, can you imagine, man? You got some beastly, just humanoid monster just eating away at you. It's eating your fingers, eating your nose and your ears and your, like you said, man, like they'll eat your face, like that woman who they attacked, man. Like they
And they do it with intent or malice.
Right.
They do it with malice. And
yeah, man.
Wild animals is wild animals. I keep trying to tell people that.
Yeah, I mean, you figure like some people, I mean, they have them as pets.
Until they get too big for them to control.
Right, but see, even a baby, like a chimp that's maybe 2 years, a year and a half, they're strong. Like they are, even though they're small compared to us, but they're strong. Like, chimps are really strong, man.
Yeah, they are.
Like they're really strong. And for the longest time, people thought that chimps ate bananas.
Well, they tried to say that chimpanzees were vegetarians.
Right. For the longest time, they tried to put, that's what we thought.
Because they're peaceful. They're so close to humans, they wouldn't do anything like that. They'll eat you. Almost said it. And it stopped that time.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And you figure, like, people, they knew. You figure, like, even when they was pushing this chimps or vegetarians on us, because they were around chimps, like, they had to have known.
Well.
Or, I mean, were they just that naive?
I can recall maybe, I guess it would have to be 30 years ago. I saw this documentary where they had the first symptom or signs of chimpanzees being carnivorous. They had found this baby doe, ate it up. It was like 2 or 3 dominant males. They wouldn't let nobody else have none. They ate the poor little thing up. So, I mean, I watched this. And it was on Facebook. I watched this hyena eat this gazelle while it was still alive. Ate its stomach out.
Oh, all right. Did it start from the butt? A lot of those creatures, like, they eat from the butt. Like, they'll just eat you from the butt, and then they'll work their way up,
Well, this one hyena was trying to eat this elephant's butt, and the elephant cut loose.
Oh, all right.
The gas cut loose on him, and he ran.
Yeah. I mean, like, that's crazy, man. I mean, and you figure, like, that's a delicacy. Like, if all these carnivorous animals.
Okay.
No, I'm not.
I know where you're going.
No. I'm not going on this isn't sexual. Like, I'm not working my way to the booty warrior, like, or the Tarsha salad, man. Like, nah. I'm just saying, like, that's crazy.
It's the most exposed, softest meat on the body.
Oh, all right.
Have access to, except for the belly. So, even the belly has hair on it. So, but you get that butt open, you got all the testicles and
it's just all soft skin.
Soft meat, no fur, no nothing. So if you start eating there, work your way around, rip the belly open.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, that's a solid point, man. That makes a lot of sense,
Disclaimer: I in no way try to represent myself as an anthropologist or an expert in the field of animal husbandry or nothing like that. I just just personal observations.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense because you figure, hey, if you just because a chimp, like with the chimp, even when it was eating that monkey, like he used his teeth, and he rips open the belly. But most animals when they kill you, I mean, they go for the jugular. Mm-hmm. And then they usually after they suffocate you or whatever.
Yeah.
Then they most of the time go for the go down at that back part and just eating at the butt area. So
and the internal organs are the richest part of the animal. The liver, the gallbladder, the stomach, the intestines. Those are the kidneys, especially the liver and the kidneys, and the heart too as well. Are rich in nourishment for those animals. And muscle is the legs, that's muscle, but it's not as rich as the liver, the heart, the kidneys.
Right.
In life-giving sustenance.
Do you have you eaten on like a chicken or whatever? Have you eaten like the heart and liver and on beef or
those are called
cow or whatever?
Giblets. And yes, liver. I love liver. Beef
Even
liver,
cow? All right, so like
beef liver. I don't recall ever eating pork liver.
All right.
But beef liver is considered a delicacy. Chicken liver is considered a delicacy. Chicken gizzards or their stomach is considered a delicacy.
Is that what it is? Gizzards is the stomach or what? What
yeah,
is
the gizzard is the stomach.
All right.
And the heart. When someone says the giblets, they take the heart, the liver, and the I don't recall them having the kidneys for chickens in there, but they take those and boil them and make a broth out of them. And they use that and then they cut them up to small pieces, and they use those to make dressing and different things with them. Chicken stock.
Oh man! So how is like beef liver? How does it taste compared to the leg or like?
Oh, it's a totally different taste. Beef liver is expensive. I can't describe the flavor of it. You'd have to try it yourself. But it's generally you either saute it in onions or some people batter it and fry it hard. Some people broil it. Some people will saute it. Sometimes it's cooked in the oven. There's just so many different ways you can fix liver. Some people like it close to raw, and I can't eat no bloody meat.
Is it mushy or is the texture compared to like the muscle or whatever?
Well, it's a massive, dense. Let me see. What can you relate it to? It's a massive, dense, fleshy type. It's like if you took some silicone and squoze it out, and it hardened up, and that's the consistency it has. It's like
okay.
But only it will cut, whereas silicone won't cut.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So it's like a breast implant.
Not that soft. See,
okay.
But some breast implants have a saline solution in them. Some of them have what's the other thing they're trying to ban? Silicone in them. But have you ever saw those rubber armrests that you put your mouse on, and they had that little
right. Yep.
Okay, that's the consistency, and yeah, you can do some freaky stuff with that stuff with the liver if you like the general butt naked. That's what they went after, people's livers and hearts and stuff. Yeah,
and they would eat it raw.
And the lungs. I forgot about the lungs. All those are delicacies to the animals because they're the most nutritious. And what people don't understand is they function more than just what they do for for what we think they are. Like the lungs provide hormonal aids to the body. The kidneys provide hormonal aids. The heart provides hormonal aid. They're just now starting to find out that, we have a complete system. It's not just, the heart does more than one thing. It doesn't just beat blood, circulate blood. It's a gland similar to other glands in your body.
Yeah, and animals, like, they know. Like, look, man, I'm eating that.
I'm eating it.
Yeah. Yeah, and you figure, man, like, at what point I don't know if it's documented, but at what point did we stop eating raw meat generally? Because some of us, there are some cultures that do eat raw meat, but I think as a general thing, most of human civilization, we eat some type of cooked meat. Like, we use fire to break down the meat and to kill a lot of the enzymes, because our stomachs.
Or well as the parasites that may be in the meat. Because some meats, like pork, has a worm-type parasite inside of it.
Yeah, trichinosis.
Mm-hmm. So if you don't cook pork properly, there's some fish that have worms in them. This is one show, The Monsters Inside of Us, where this man, he ate some, what do they call it when you eat that raw sushi?
Yeah.
And so he was trying to use the bathroom, and he went behind him to wipe himself, and he felt something. And it was this big old giant worm, and it slid back up his rectum. Oh, no. And he started freaking.
Yeah.
So that's one reason why you have to eat cooked food, because of the potential of parasites and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if they knew what they were doing when they started cooking food, because food tastes much better cooked. It's some people want their sticks rare but not cold. Flip it on one side, get the cool air off of it. Flip it on the other side, get the cold off of it. Just give it to me raw. I can't eat that.
Yeah.
Some people like their hamburgers like that. But what happens is when you eat a raw hamburger meat is actually scrap meat that they pick up after they've trimmed the good quality meat. That's the trimmings. So back in the day before they had standards, they collected and then grind it. Well, the butchers would just cast it on the floor, have sawdust and everything. If the beef had a tumor, they cut the tumor off.
Oh man,
it's 100% beef.
Oh,
okay. They didn't care.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, to sashay over to another thing, no part of a cow when it's butchered is wasted. No part whatsoever. When I was a youngster, went to a slaughterhouse. When McDonald's say 100% beef, well, they grind the bones up to a powder. That's still beef. And they mix it in with the meat. Or they may take the blood and use it for fertilizer, mix it with fertilizer. They take the horns, grind those down. They take the hide, make your shoes out of. The only thing they take the stomach. They call it, I forget what they call cow stomach.
Yeah, and a cow's stomach is
You have two stomachs.
Yeah, it's unique. Like it's something about it. It can.
What do they call it? Tripe. I think they call it tripe. Maw. No, that's hog maws is the stomach for hogs, and cows are called tripe, if I'm not mistaken. But no part of animals raised domestically is wasted. The pig, we eat the feet from the rooty to the tooty. We eat every piece of it. The tail, the hairs are taken off and used to make bristles or something. Skin, pork rinds. That's the pork skin. The snout, the tongue. There's no part of the pig that's not eaten except for maybe the bones.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And you figure, like, because before we had fire, right? Mm-hmm. Then we were eating We were eating just raw animal.
And our life, I believe we can attribute our increase of our life expectancy to the idea we discovered fire and started cooking our food.
Right.
Because yeah, you can eat it, but there may be something there that you want dead. You have to raise that temperature up. There was cases where when I sashayed away, I was trying to lead to when people, when they cut a cow open, everything comes out. Its guts, its urine, its feces, everything. So you got guys walking through that stuff, and then they walk over to where they're butchering, and that meat that they drop on the floor, they pick it up. You got salmonella, you got E. coli, you got all kind of stuff in there. So there were, maybe 30 years ago, there was this store. I don't know if they still exist now. I don't know if I should say the name, but they were cooking their hamburgers, not well done, but they would leave the inside pink. Well, people were dying because of the E. coli, because they were eating unfully cooked hamburgers. So now, they don't serve you a rare hamburger, no place, unless you go to a boutique type store, a restaurant. And
I went to a place in New York. I didn't even I like my burgers well done, and they gave me like a medium rare hamburger, man. Oh, it was horrible. Like, it was like the nastiest thing.
I gotta have I like my steaks well done, but not burned.
Right. I like mine burnt. I like my stuff burnt, man. Get it dark, baby.
I don't want no charcoal on my.
Yeah, man. I want my stuff dark, man. But yeah. But some cultures, they eat. They still, like, you can go to their restaurant, like a culturally themed restaurant, and if you are of that culture, you can get special items that they only sell, to their kind.
Oh, you had to go back in the back room and move in the corner of the dark.
Right. Well, it's like a diner or whatever that they have special for, for those special cuisines.
Well, eating live monkey brain in Asia, in some of the Asian countries, is considered a delicacy.
Yeah, I've seen that on like Faces of Death back in the day, like when I was a kid, man. And they would just like bash the monkey. They would trap him on the table, and with his neck, so they lock him in to where his head is exposed on the table, and the patrons, they would get like a mallet, and you just bash the monkey, until he dies. And then, or knock him out or whatever, then you would just eat the brain.
The one I saw, they were eating it while he was sitting there looking at him.
Yeah.
That was some wild stuff, man.
Yeah, but the brain doesn't feel pain, so when they slicing away, I mean, you figure like eventually.
God, there's at least one or two of us down here before you just start smiting us and crap. I mean, because we as humans, I guess we are closely related to the chimps.
To the chimps, because we're sick.
Because, wow, we do some heinous stuff, man.
Yeah, but they
in the
say
name of pleasure.
But they say that those those impulses, like to shoot people and to kill and everything that's bad, those are the chimp-like qualities that we're getting away from, from our relative species, because I know I'm not saying that we evolved, right? I'm not saying that we evolved from chimps or apes or anything, but they are related. Like they look, they look the same, have 5 digits, 10 digits, 20 digits, however you want to count them up. Hands and feet, walk upright for the most part. Knees and everything, so that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that there was an ape or chimp, and then 2 days later the chimp became a man.
Somebody had some sex with a chimpanzee,
right?
And they created human beings,
right? I'm not saying that, but you know, is saying that a lot of our downside, you know, it's related to that. It's to, you know, just like animal-like things. And, you know, so you have to look at the chimp because, and this could be egotistic, but we believe that we're better than chimps. You know, I mean, like human beings,
Okay.
you know, we feel like, look, we're a higher being. We're a higher living creature, more intelligent, more this, more that than the chimp, you know, so.
There's one specific thing that separates human beings from all other animals, as well as chimpanzees, gorillas. There's one simple thing. People argue, we have bipolar motion. No, chimpanzees can walk on two legs. Gorillas can walk on two legs as long as they want to. The one thing that distinguishes humans from all other creatures is our opposable thumb. No other creature can touch their other fingers like human beings can. That's the one distinguishing feature of human beings and monkeys. And any other animal is our opposable thumb. And to say that we use tools, well, birds use tools. They take a stick and stick it in a hole and pull worms out. Some creatures will take a rock and crack open nuts.
Yeah.
Those are tools.
Yeah. Oh, man, there's a video where the chimp catches monkeys. Like they use, like, it's a method that they use to catch other monkeys, you know, when they eat them and stuff. Mm-hmm. And, like, you know, like it's... Like it's pretty high tech. Like, man, you know, like, yo, man, these chimps could really be a problem for us. Like,
no, you thinking about Planet of the Apes?
Nah, man. Like, cause Planet of the Apes dumbed down the chimps. Like you the second one, and this, I'm about to drop a spoiler for any of you who haven't seen it. You probably want to stop listening, or just listen and, you know, stop it and go watch the movie. That's the best thing I can tell you. It's not a huge spoiler, but in the movie. Caesar, he's like, you know, because the chimp is crazy, you know, like his evil rival, you know, his rival chimp is crazy, and they're like, no, you're not a chimp, you're a human, you know, because he's just crazy, he's just killing things. And
okay, so they call them humans as a besmirch upon
right. But see, that's a lie because chimps are vicious. Like that chimp in that movie was being a real chimp, you know, and you know, Caesar's trying to act like, you know, like he's the, like, no, chimps,
intelligent and intellectual.
Right. He's like, you know, chimps don't kill chimps. Like, nah, they do, dog, and they bite their balls off. You know,
they do.
Bite the cock off, man. Like
okay.
they'll
where the cup at, man?
Cock. Is that's a cuss word?
What's the proper word for that?
Genitals. How about that?
Yeah. Okay, but you put the dollar. Right. You done with that can right there?
No, I'm not done.
Okay, well, you put the dollar in there when you get done.
Okay, and see, now I'm learning. I'm not gonna say that, but yeah, man, they'll bite your genitals off. You know, they'll do that to chimps. So, you know, that's the thing, man. Like, chimps are very vicious. And, you know, Planet of the Apes, they have these chimps, you know, like, look, no, we don't do that. We don't do that. But it's like you do, you know?
Yeah. Like, you know, they try to say one particular group of people or race of people have a higher propensity for violence and aggression. And that's not true.
Right.
That's not true. Culturally speaking, black people are more expressive, more emotional with their situations because they've had emotional strife their entire life. So they react emotionally. That doesn't mean someone's going to bust your face open because I raise my voice.
Right.
What happens is I have no respect for you. So anything I want to say to you, I say to you. That doesn't mean that I'm going to put my hands on you unless I tell you I'm going to put my hands on you. Okay?
Yeah, and I think behavior is a contained and it's very fragile. You know, like the way to, when you think of a black person, right? When you think of like the most ignorant black person that you could ever meet, to craft that and to really keep that person that ignorant, it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of money, because any person see, this is the thing people don't understand, is that there's so many systems to keep you locked down.
In place.
There's so many systems in place, like for
not,
women.
Not by accident.
Right.
But by design.
By design. Like this is designed. And if you really want to know how in depth people can get, right, you can look at music. You can look at just go on YouTube and just see how people take systems and they just work on them, and they build it up, and then before you know it, you just have this masterpiece. Or or you look at paintings, you just look at just from the straight line how much we've evolved past just drawing a line.
Yeah.
Like how far we've gone beyond just drawing some picture on the wall, on some stone, like we've taken art well beyond that, and then you look at video games and just look how this stuff is evolving just from the basic, Pong or whatever that game is.
Let me ask you, do they have, and see, I have no expertise in either one of the fields. Do they have any porn video games? Yeah,
they do. You know it. Man, porn leads the way, and even now, in most of the stuff that we do, most of the stuff that we do, man, and you figure like what we're doing even now. I mean, you think about it, with the podcast, right?
Yeah.
Like they were doing this. This is just, like, all right, you think about the radio, but think about those hotlines, those sex lines.
Okay.
Like you call. You ever call one? I called one.
No, I didn't waste my money.
Yeah, I called one. I think I was like maybe 16, 17.
How long did they keep you on the line?
Well, I was so nervous. I didn't talk to her because at that point you can select either to talk to a person or you can just listen to a conversation. Now, like I said, I'm like 16, 17. So I was just scared. I'm like, God, I don't know what to do.
So a chat room.
Right. And so I was just listening. So I didn't talk to anybody, but I was just listening to erotic conversations, right, between a man and a woman. Mainly the woman is talking. She's leading the conversation, So, and I probably was on there for probably like 2-3 minutes.
Okay, so what were they charging a minute?
Man, I'm not even sure.
$1 a minute, $3
a minute? Yeah, it probably was like $5 a minute or who knows, right?
They try to keep you on there as long as possible.
Right, but because I was just listening then, they couldn't keep me. You know what I mean? Like, I just hang up anytime I want. And but you think about it, like that's the podcast, because the video podcast, porn already does that. They do that with the chat room. Like you can, you get a girl, she'll type, she'll talk, she'll play with herself, like whatever you want,
Okay, I've seen those, yeah.
Yeah, and you're paying, you're paying
like
this.
A voyeur.
Right.
She just going about her normal duties. People come and go. They watch her go to the bathroom, use the bathroom.
Right.
She got a camera up under there so you can see when she sits down, you can see all her stuff.
Right.
Her good stuff. Did you ever see this movie called Girl 6?
With was that a Spike Lee one?
I believe it was.
Yeah, and I've seen it, but I think I've only seen it one time, and it was a long time ago. So, like, I barely remember it, but I kind of remember just a little bit of it.
Yeah.
What was the basis of that? What was it?
I don't want to spoil it for you. Just watch it again.
No, I'm not going. Just go ahead, man. Just drop it.
Well, it's about this lady. Her number was 6.
Mm-hmm.
So she was considered girl 6. She was just doing it for the money. No emotions in it or nothing. And I think she met this guy or something, and he wanted her to quit the business and all that stuff. This movie was done prior to strippers being so popularized.
Okay.
I'm sure if stripping was popular at that time as it is on the level it is now, Spike would have did a movie.
Yeah,
on
he would
stripper.
did.
But at the time,
Players Club.
at the time, when Girl 6, let me Google that thing.
Yeah.
When Girl 6 was done, the phone sex was real popular then, and they were killing people's credit cards because they get your credit card, they ring it up, put $1,000 on there easy.
Oh man,
Man, it was people, but people
like that's the model. Like that's the model, and that's the model that porn has been doing. Like everything that we like, even now today, you figure with a lot of podcasts, like they do subscription based, just a lot of businesses now. Like you can do. Like our personal businesses that we have, like that stuff is all, come from porn, like porn has been on this stuff 10 years ago, they really, lead the way. And then even with video, now we're getting back to video games, and a lot of people don't know this, even video gamers, because, most of the time when you're playing video games, you're playing them as a young kid, but at the same time, you have adults who are playing games as well.
Used to be kids who grew up.
Right, but as an adult, they're going to have mature games, and those mature games drive a lot of like the graphics and stuff like that, the whole idea of realism, like because in video games, starting for consumers, I would say Pitfall or Pit Fighter. That's the is that it? You want
this is some 6 guys raped some girl in Russia.
Oh.
They posted it on the internet.
Oh, it was like, yo, man, look at our handiwork. Like, look,
what I
man.
did, man. Oh wow, they showing pictures of it, man.
Oh, holy crap. Wow. Holy. Yeah. So that she's knocked out?
I don't know. This might be just fake. You know how people just do stuff for publicity and stuff like that, man.
Man, they not playing. Yeah, that was. Here, let me go back. Wow.
See, they wouldn't show those pictures in America. And those
Wow.
X-rated expletive pictures and all that good stuff.
See, that's why. But back to the gaming and the graphics, you had realism, because most of the time, for the most part, video games have been cartoon like, but then they had the game Pit Fighter, where the characters actually look like real people, and then from there. Now this was Midway, and I don't know if they had a different name at the time, but it's the same company. And then they came out with Mortal Kombat.
Okay.
Now Mortal Kombat was probably, because Pit Fighter was when I was like a little kid, man, probably like 7 or 8, and then Mortal Kombat was probably when I'm about 11 to 13, and just that realism played a huge part, in porn, because in pornography games, driven games, because they wanted realism so that you could, really just jerk off the best way, because you got your keyboard, right? And they're playing with the coochie, or because most of the games, Japanese games can be for the console. So like the Nintendo, PlayStation, all of that stuff, right?
Right.
Japanese consoles, if you got a Japanese console, then you have sex games, but they don't allow that stuff in America, on those consoles. So if you want a sex game, you have to play it on your computer.
Okay.
So
you can't masturbate or nothing like that.
Right. Now you can, because on the computer, you're just using the mouse, or you're using the keypad, and you just one hand you just stroking, the other hand you know playing with the cooch or whatever, you know. So that's where it is, and even now you have this technology called like Oculus. Facebook is investing in one of the technologies now. All it is, it's a headset.
Okay.
It's like a VR headset. And this, man, like some of the demos that they show is crazy, you know, because it's ultra realism. Like Sony has one now. These are all different technologies. Sony has one. Microsoft is investing in one. And then, like I said, Facebook is even investing in one. But in Sony's demo, you put this thing over your head, right? Mm-hmm. And they have a person playing the piano in the room. Now, the room is set up to where it looks just like this regular room, but when you put it on, then you see a person.
Oh, okay.
And that person is playing the piano. And the people who experience the demo, they stand by like, look, man, like that, it was so real, you know. And they just like, yo, man, it was so real. Like, I couldn't believe it. It messed my brain up when I took it off to see that the person was not there, you know. So,
how long did it last?
I believe those demos last for like maybe 14 minutes or 7 minutes, you know. Now, you already know that porn is, you know, leading the charge in that.
Porn is all. Nothing's changed. There's nothing new under the sun as far as sex is concerned. You can say you did something. Trust me. What do you think those mentors and all that other stuff was about? That, you know, like the half human, half horse, the half human, half goat. That's telling you they was bopping goats and horses back then.
He said, "I let you know that they was half fish, half
mermaids. They catch a whale or a dolphin. They sock it to them.
Yeah, because dolphins are like real sexual.
Oh man, they have penises that can wander around, and they can manipulate it.
Yeah,
like so women go to the beach. They get raped by dolphins. They'll even rape a man.
Yeah. Like, and but if you jerk it off, a lot of times they just want you to, you know, rub them out. You know, just rub one off.
Just hit it like that and just drop off.
Yeah, like, you know, like they want you to rub one off, man. They had one. I was watching a documentary, man, and I can't even remember it now, but it was like somebody's house. It was about this person who was trying to live with dolphins, right? So it was a woman who was living with a dolphin.
Oh, I know they beat her up.
So it was living with one dolphin, right?
Uh-huh.
And they treated this dolphin, you know, like it was a part of the family. It was, you know, human or whatever. And she was even sexual with the dolphin. Like she would just jerk them off, you know, like, and then they would go and, you know, do whatever else that the scientists wanted them to do, you know. And then eventually, they caught wind and they heard that, hey, she's jerking this dolphin off. So they separated them. They, you know, it ruined the experiment or whatever. You guys can look it up. And it's something house. It's like Dolphin House or Flipper House or something like that. This is documented. This is real science. So they take the dolphin. They put the dolphin, you know, with other dolphins, right? Strip him away from his house or whatever. The dolphin kills himself.
Because he couldn't.
Because he wasn't with his family of humans, you know, that he just loved and that routine that he was in. So he went to the bottom of the pool, you know, wherever they, you know, put him at, some zoo or some habitat, and he went to the bottom and just drowned himself. He just wouldn't breathe.
Wow. So you're saying he committed suicide?
Right.
I thought that was a human characteristic.
Right, man. I know. You know, like that's That's crazy. But, but dolphins, like, they can become really attached to humans. And have you heard the theory about the aquatic ape?
No.
So the way this goes, and this will really upset some of you creationists out there, but the aquatic ape suggests that, and people don't believe, some people believe, don't worry about it. But here, I'm going to just state the theory for you guys. So it's based that humans developed from some type of aquatic ape creature, So that's the whole theory bases the whole idea that chimps and other monkeys, when you put them in water, they drown. Like if you have a baby chimp and you just throw it in the water, it'll drown. It'll just try to breathe and it'll drown.
Sink to the bottom like
Right.
a rock, huh?
Right, but a human baby, if you put a human baby in water, it'll close its mouth and it won't try to breathe underwater. And and then even some people who give birth underwater, when the baby, mothers who give birth in water, when they have those water births, the baby can actually live in the water for a little bit, 10, 20 minutes. A baby can live, if it comes straight out of the vagina and goes into the water, from vagina to water, it can live in the water for, 30 or however long, right? For a long period of time, comfortable. It's not drowning, it's not dying, and then once it takes that breath, then when it goes back in water, then, it'll always close its mouth or whatever. And, they suggest that this aquatic ape theory is that, because all other monkeys will drown in water, but humans won't, then, that guy believed that humans developed from some type of aquatic ape animal that, because dolphins are like us too. They, so they say that dolphins are close to, to humans as well.
Oh.
And that's the whole idea from that.
Well, all mammals are as they develop are bathed mammals, meaning elephants, orangutans, laughing hyenas. They all have an embryonic fluid that their young are bathed in. So that's where the concept of water. That's a far-fetched concept, man. A waterborne ape.
Right. Yeah. And for the most part, it's been...
And again, they're trying to take away the idea that God had anything to do with anything, and just say, we created ourselves. We crawled out of the goo, the ooh, and we developed into who we are. So we created ourselves.
But I don't think so. I don't think that science wants to take anything away from God.
Well, science don't believe in God. Most scientists are atheists.
Well, I believe that science does not want to run into roadblocks that humans have created because of the manipulation of religion once it entered into the king's hands, And I think that's what people are trying to get away from, because all that we know, we don't know it untampered, we know that Jesus is love. We know that God is love. But once the kings got a hold of it, and they just infuse so much of look, I need to control you. I need to keep you in this system that we're working on, this new thing that we're working on, and it's you don't even know you can't tell what the real thing looked like. It's kind of like dinosaurs, you know, like now we believe that, and I say we, like just the majority of regular people or scientists believe that dinosaurs are closely related to birds, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's what we believe now, whereas before we believed that dinosaurs were closely related to lizards.
Right.
You know, so like if you look at dinosaurs and depiction of dinosaurs, let's say 50 years ago, it's going to look a lot different from the pictures and the images of dinosaurs today. Now, it's the same bones that we have, the same fossils, but our concept and our understanding has shifted and has changed. So the artwork is starting to reflect that, but that just shows you that we really don't know. And I think a lot of times that's what scientists, when they, you know, if it's like, all right, you guys are cursed. You don't have any favor with God, and that's why you're sick and you're dying off. And it's like, no, that's not really it. It's I'm eating all this pork. I'm eating all of this high sodium food. It's my diet that's causing, you know, me and my family and my people to, you know, be dying off of these problems, you know, or, hey, you lost favor. You killed somebody and you're stained, and that's why you're black. Because God, you
cursed you.
Yes, because God cursed you.
And you laughed at Noah in his nakedness.
You know, so it's like, no. Actually, you know, the color of my skin protects me from this. The color of your skin protects you from that. It's all environmental. And I think that's what a lot of times, and I can't speak, I don't want to put any words in you guys' mouth. Some of you scientists, you don't believe in God, and you know, I don't want it to make it seem like you believe, but I think ultimately people, it's like, look, you know, it's been tampered with, and you're just trying to get away from that control aspect, because you got to know that that's really not, it could be, but for the most part, I don't think so. I think that the control aspect came into it once Constantine, once he got his hands on it, you know. And if you look at, you know, any religion that has a lot of, like, even if you look at Islam, which I'm not very knowledgeable about, you know, and I know we do have Islamic listeners, so, you know, I'm not going to say some stuff that I don't know. But what I do know is that it's control based. Like it's you can't do this. You know, if you're this, then you have to die. You know, like if you
doing Christianity,
right? Like if you say something against the Quran, if you burn a Quran, like that's death.
That's death.
That's death. Like
death.
And your people who kill you are good. Like, hey, what'd he do? He burned the Quran. Oh, all right. What'd she do? She burned the Quran. How old was she? 12. All right. Well, hey, she shouldn't have burned that Quran. You know what I mean? Like it's that's control. Like that's you know. So at some point, some Middle Eastern king got a hold of it and started to add that stuff, man. Like because the Islam that speaks of peace and speaks of love, or the Christianity that speaks of peace and speaks of love, at the same time, you know, can't say like,
have
well,
turned into tools of oppression,
right? You know,
used to control the masses,
right, man. So,
man,
yeah. And go ahead.
I believe in God. I say my prayer before I eat. I constantly talk to God. You know how I lost my faith in church. You know the story behind that.
Yeah.
And you don't put your faith in any one man or any one group. You are entitled to a personal relationship with your God. If you are intelligent enough, you don't need a middleman to tell you how to think or to interpret to you what you think your relationship with God should be. Okay? The worst thing in the world is a reformed sinner. They know what they've done, and they expect you to hold the line because now they're judgmental.
Right.
So, organized church, I mean, it's not for everybody, but to say that you're not a Christian because you don't go to an organized church is a misnomer.
Right. And I see that as just they're trying to control you, like
But they want your money. They want your tithes.
right. But I mean, not all churches. I don't think.
No church can survive without tithes.
Yeah.
You
They
can't.
create businesses and
Well, someone has to volunteer some kind of way to run the store.
right.
Okay, they don't get paid most likely unless you're the manager, and unless they want to hire an individual who is not a member of the church to manage the facilities to a profit. But the rest of the people, stock people, maybe members of a church, and volunteering their time.
Yeah. And I mean, because they want to serve God, they want to serve the people in the community, but but it definitely can get personal. Like we always want people to do
Petty politics of church.
Yes. There's always politics. Like there's always politics, man, in everything. Because this is one of the things that Thunder and Drizzle.
Get to know me first, man. You get to know me. I want you to get to know me. I mean, don't judge me unless you know me.
Like one thing that they overlooked because they don't have children yet is that you're gonna want better for your kids. Like you're gonna want your kids to have more than what you had. So if you're putting into this system,
If you're a good parent,
right, even if you're even if you're just a selfish parent, you go out there and you hunt or you pay for the food. Look, I want my kid to eat whatever he wants.
some people don't care if their kids don't eat. That's why they have foster homes.
Right. But in church they do. And I'm not talking about kids and like biological kids and stuff like that. I'm talking about agendas, like, look, I am this or I do this, therefore, I
exist.
Like I even got myself caught up and I had to step away from some thinking like that. It was a woman in the church, right? Now this is about my daughter. So the little girl said that my daughter did something mean to some other girl, right? So the mother follows us to Kroger, a store, like a supermarket. Follows us to the supermarket. I go into the supermarket. So this woman approaches my wife, right? And la, 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 blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, it's all over by the time I come back. I didn't even know what was going on. But then, my wife said something to me. So I'm like, what? I start thinking about my value to the establishment, like, look, if anybody's got to go, it's got to be you, because, look, I'm more important than you are.
Ooh.
This is my thinking. Like I automatically, start thinking like that.
I'm holier than thou.
Right. Just not even I'm holier.
Bow down.
But
no power greater than you. Bow down, fool. Bow down. Don't you see me? Don't
Right.
you know who I am?
Right. Don't you know who I am?
I'm Bo Miles. I'm Bo Miles.
Right. Like, look, you got to go.
I'm Bo Miles.
Like, look, you could go on your own or I can get everybody to make you go.
You ain't got to go home, but you got to get the heck out of here.
So like, in that stupid thinking, I realized like, nah, man, like that's just some old chimp thinking, you know?
Well, maybe that's what we should start calling each other as opposed to the N word.
Right.
I mean, it'll really offend people if you call them a chimp, with your chimp acting self.
Yeah.
What you mean, chimp? Go Google the antics of chimpanzees and see what they're talking about.
Right. Instead of calling each other niggas, call each other chimps. You know, because it's the same thing.
And guess what? It wouldn't be exclusive to one race.
Right.
You can call anybody.
Yeah, you call any person, you know.
Man, you act like a chimpanzee.
Right.
What you call me, man? I said you a chimpanzee.
Yeah.
Man, hey, Neckbone, go get my stuff, man. We're going to do a drive-by on this dude. What'd he do, boss? What'd he do? MF called me a chimpanzee, man. What? Let's go get him. Let's go get that chimpanzee. Chimp.
Yeah, chimp. Chimp. What's up, chimp?
What's up, my chimp?
Yeah.
My chimp. Now, see, you can stick that to any race.
Right.
You can call an Asian a chimp.
Right. You call anybody.
A European a chimp.
Yep. African or black.
No, you can call them gorillas.
Nah. I'm going to have to do my research on gorillas. I think gorillas are more, and see, this could still be.
Gorilla tear you apart.
Right. I'm sure they will. They're very territorial.
Oh, yeah,
you
man.
know. And we are, man. Like, you know, as humans, man, we're very territorial, man.
You know, the territorialness stems from what? Wanting to control the females in your area.
Right.
Meaning you want all that poontang for yourself.
Right. Selfishness. Chimpness.
You ever see how elks and deers fight over dominance to see who gets the mate?
Yeah. See who gets
That's what it's all about, man.
Yeah.
As I said earlier, the only real thing in life is something to eat and some poontang to bang on.
Right. No, it's nothing. I'm just thinking of a nice piece. But, yeah, man, I mean, you know, like that's what it boils down to, man.
Yeah. And money is of man. What does the Bible say? Render unto Caesar what is his. If our government topples, I don't care if you got $1 million. If our government topples, you got some nice paper to do some wallpapering.
Right.
Because ain't nobody going to give you a dime for it. Because once the government topples, that's it. It will have no value anymore whatsoever.
Yeah.
So just keep that in perspective that, you know, look at in Iraq, those dollars from Iraq, one of the richest countries over in the Middle East, the dollars is worth has no value. You can't even wipe your butt with them because they're too hard.
He said it has no value. Yeah.
It's like a Confederate dollar. You know, you give them about 30 of them, you can get $2 for them. Somebody collect them.
Yeah. It's a collector. You give them 30, he'll give you $2.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. See, man, I never thought of that. You know, but
well, see, Parliament. Now I'm going to say a curse word, but it's not meant to be destructive.
All right.
Okay. So if you'll give me a pass on this one.
Nah, no pass.
Okay. Well, Parliament's 1971. Free your mind, and your posterior will follow. Now, I added the word posterior in lieu of the curse word, so I wouldn't have to give up that $1. Now, what was the name of that female group? They did Free Your Mind and the rest will follow.
In Vogue?
In Vogue.
Yeah.
But the real name of it is Free Your Mind and your posterior will follow. Man, I got all that Parliament stuff. Chocolate City. You ever hear Chocolate City, man?
Nah.
We can't play it on here, but I'll play it for you after we get off of here, man.
All right.
Man, did you get that? Did you get that message I sent you about that video?
Those girls twerking, and the other one was behind her, like she was.
Well,
hitting
that was the last one. But I'm speaking of one called wow, I forgot the name of it. How can I forget the name of that tune I love so much? Something in Colors. Sound and colors.
Yeah, I got it. I didn't look at it yet.
Oh man, it's deep, bro.
Oh man, and we gotta talk on the newest development in Chicago, which I think it was brewing the last episode, but it didn't pop yet. You know, with what happened a year ago, the young boy getting shot 16 times.
Oh yeah, they charged that guy with murder, man.
And like the cover up though.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. He didn't have access to go do that because he wasn't doing the investigation. So it was a total conspiracy.
Right.
Okay. Now, nobody sat down and said, let's do this. They just knew what to do. Now, take a step backwards. Suppose they want to convict somebody of a crime,
right,
as opposed to prevent him from being charged with a crime. Who's going to challenge him?
Right.
Who's going to challenge him?
Right.
Okay, so
yeah,
the black community is aware of this kind of stuff. We've been dealing with it. See, now the white community has to deal with it because when you have Gestapo tactics and they're used among a few of the mass, eventually, like, okay, when Hitler took over Nazi Germany, first it was the Jews, then it was the retarded people, the homosexuals, whomever. But they started wiping them out and liquidating them. And see, it's okay now because they're just killing blacks, mostly. I mean, they kill whites.
Yeah.
But mostly, they kill blacks. Mostly. Now, when you start seeing young white boys die, young white girls die, or being brutalized, now, the worst no-no in the world is for a man, an adult male, to put his hands on a young female in a swimming suit. That's the worst thing. That's the worst crime you can do. Now, if that was a young white girl, all hell would have broke loose over him putting his hands on.
A black police officer.
Yeah. Oh my God! What you said? For? Oh my God!
He said, "Oh my God, no, Lord." Yeah, like it would have been over.
Yeah, man.
He would have lost his job.
They'd be bringing him up on sexual harassment, man.
Right.
You know, there used to be a time where it's gotten so bad now. There used to be a time when a female was arrested, they would have to call out a female policeman to search her. Now, these male cops is just searching these women.
Yeah.
Like, okay, spread them.
Yeah, I'm gonna search you with my penis. Like,
spread them. Did you see the movie Crash?
Nah. I think I've seen it like in pieces. Okay. But I've never really watched it.
There's one scene where, what's the guy that played on? He's playing on Empire.
Oh, Terrence Howard.
Okay, he played in there as a director. Okay, he was a Hollywood director, a prominent black Hollywood director, and his wife didn't have any filters on her mouth. She said whatever she wanted to say. She called him Uncle Tom because he wouldn't put up with stuff. So
she was black.
Yes.
Okay.
She was black. So I guess she was, when the police pulled up on him because they were suggesting that his car was a stolen car. Anytime you see a black person in a car, it's just suspect for a stolen car. She appeared to be giving her husband fellatio. And when they pulled up on her, she sat up. So they suggested that that's what she was doing. And when they started talking to her, she wanted her husband to do something about what the police were doing. Well,
just what they were saying, or were they like?
Oh man, they
grabbing her or
they
what?
Felt her up.
Oh, all right. So they was like took both of them out the car,
put them up against the car.
All right, and then they started feeling on her
because she wouldn't shut her mouth. They searched her.
Okay.
She didn't have on no underwear, and no bra. And this one cop, he enjoyed searching her.
Oh, all right. Like he was fingering her or what?
I don't know if he fingered her. They didn't insinuate that.
All right. So she didn't like,
Yeah, because he when they go down, they
Oh, okay, like with his thumb, and then she was like,
You
did
know,
she
to
breathe
see
or
if
something?
you have something in that general area, they'll
Yeah.
take their hand up there
Okay.
and touch.
Yeah, so she made the face like, hey, look, he was
Yeah.
touching her.
And she felt violated, and she's like, well, why didn't you do something? He said, the man had a gun. What do you want me to do? Die for you?
Yeah, man. See, that's the abusive power that cops have and have had and have been using for years, man. And it's like, I think that's what's going to be the movement of my time, because my generation, we really don't have anything to fight against. Like, we really, like, police brutality and police inappropriateness and just abusive power. Like, that is what my contemporaries, like, that's really what we have to fight against, man, because it's ridiculous, man.
Well,
Like, it really is. But at the same time, it's needed. Like I need those cops.
oh, yeah.
You know? Like, look, man, I need a cop that's going to do that when it really hits the fan and it's go time.
But
You know? Like, you need a cop like that, but at the same time, you know, you don't want that cop. You don't want that cop.
you don't want that cop dealing with you.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So what you have to do is keep both hands on the steering wheel while you're
Right.
driving.
You know? So
Don't run that light. Keep the speed below the speed limit.
because we can't, man. Like, people, we can't have weak cops. Like, we can't have cops who, you know, like, take that guy, the kid who got shot 16 times, right? In his back, like, he was trying to move away.
He was walking away
He
from
was
the
walking
cops.
away from the cops. He gets shot. He gets shot like 11 times in his back. And the defense of the cops is saying his life, he felt threatened. This cop felt threatened from a guy with a knife who already been shot. You feel threatened.
Well, and he was on the ground when he shot him.
Right.
And they're like, you can see the bullets kicking the dust off the ground.
Right, yeah.
You know, that was one of them things. And he wasn't there. He just had pulled up, jumped out of his vehicle,
Right.
started firing.
Right, like, so.
It's your turn, Jonesy.
Right.
I killed the last chimp. I
He
killed
said,
the
"I
last
killed
chimp.
the last chimp. You get this one.
You get this chimp. I got
Yeah.
the last one.
Yeah, and you know,
Chimpanzees.
then they went to the Burger King and wiped their cameras because the cameras caught everything, so they went over to the Burger King and wiped it. You know.
Oh, which one of our officers did that? Do you know? Now, what's going to stop them from getting robbed if they
Right.
bust out that cop?
Right.
You know?
Right. Right. Or killed. Look, man, you saw what we did to him. You know.
They don't mind. The city got plenty of money.
Right.
They pay for it.
Yeah, man, we got there's somebody else trying to get your job anyway. So as soon as you die, man, don't worry, there's another manager waiting.
Well, the cop, they charged him with first-degree murder.
Yeah, a year later. They wasn't even trying, like, it was a cover-up, man. And like you said, like, cops, they're violating women. Like, they just don't care. But yet they expect us to care.
Well, let me clarify. Not all cops have that attitude.
Right. Right, but we need those cops, though. You know, like, we need the cop that's going to violate and just be a thug and a gangster and a murderer.
Go down and you don't hear about
You know.
real gangsters getting killed by cops like that.
Right.
You hear about small children, unarmed people getting killed like that, or drugged out crackheads or something like that. Or what was the guy named? Can't we get along?
Rodney King.
Rodney King type. Somebody who wouldn't put up a fight.
Yeah, because they're in cahoots with drug dealers. You know, like every drug dealer who gets to a certain level, they're in cahoots with the cop. They're in cahoots with the government because
It's called trickle down effect.
man, it's not even that. It's just like, look, man, like we saw with Chicago, right? And what we're seeing with Chicago, what we see in the Middle East is that once you take away the dominant factor, then everyone is fighting for power. Everybody wants to fight and become the man,
the head honcho.
right? Like everybody's clawing, and they just violence, and it's war. Every person is trying to, become that man
For dominance, because when you're dominant, you have access to the money.
Right.
And when you got money, you got power.
Right.
And when you got power, I don't care how ugly and jacked up your grill is, you can get all the women you want.
Right. Right. You can do whatever you want, and that's what's happening in Chicago. That's what's happening in the Middle East.
You be a white man.
But man, look, like Jay-Z said back when, on his second or his first album, like he was only a superstar on the East Coast, so from DC or North Carolina, all the way up to, Boston, like boom, he was a superstar. He was a celebrity, right? And that's a small piece of the world, but he was like, look, man, like I felt like a superstar. Like, man, I was the man. Like, it felt good. So that's the thing, man. Like, being just that small hustler on Fifth Avenue.
Hustling.
Right. Like, look, man, like that's gonna.
Every day I'm hustling.
That's gonna get you, look, man, that's gonna get you a lot. You're gonna get to do a lot,
Yeah.
So, what's this?
Check that out real quick. Look at his grill. I sent that to you.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Got some fronts. Ain't that what they call, man?
Yep. You figure, man. They
diamond-studded fronts.
Pop him right in his temple and take his grill.
I got 3 phone cars in my mouth.
Yeah. Yeah, man. That's, and that's the thing. Like, that's what's happening. So you want to have that person in place that is held accountable, that can manage everything. You want those managers,
I like that, man. That looks nice.
Oh, you might get you a set.
Yeah, man.
Like you want those managers, man. And that's the thing. Like, that's what we're trying to do in the Middle East. We're trying to support who we want to be a manager of the Middle East.
Well, once again, you look back at history. Okay. All of Europe, a good part of Asia was conquered by the Romans. And we are the offshoots or the offsprings of the Roman Empire. I don't care what nobody tell you. France was a colony of the Roman Empire. England, the ones that they had the greatest trouble with conquering was Gaul, which would be considered the Germanic tribe people. And the Brits gave them difficulty too because they were so far away from Rome. But when Rome collapsed, and one of the things the Romans would do is when they would conquer a country or an area, they would take the king's son, leave the king in place, take his son, send him back to Rome, raise him as a Roman citizen, then send him back home to rule. So they had their trained puppy dogs ruling the countries. So that's what they do now. They have puppet regimes in place, and it's an old trick that the Romans did. Okay.
Yeah, like, look, man, those rebels and just all that fighting. Like, look, man, they like, look, we don't want, we don't want some type of Western-backed group dominating the country, but at the same time, but you need it. Like, you need that money, you need the weapons, you need the supplies, like, you need all of that stuff. And a lot of times they're going to Asia, they're going to China. They rape Africa and try to take the resources from Africa and just send it to China to clean it up so that they can get the money and, continue to fight.
Well, see, there's still so many undiscovered resources in Africa. They're not going to ever let that country go. Because all I got to do is give that chimpanzee in charge a couple of dollars, and I'm going to I give him $5, I'm making $1 million. So You
Right.
tell me what would you give him $5?
Right. That's just like with crime, like they want crime to go because, okay, you generate $200 or you take 200 or 300 or 500 or whatever, but you're generating, like $10,000.
What are the attorneys going to make? What are the jailers going to make?
Right. That's
What
a
is
lot
the
of money.
prison going to make?
Right. That's
Some
a lot
of
of
these
money.
prisons are private for profit facilities.
Right.
All they got to do is house you and keep you from killing yourself or getting killed.
Right.
And they're going to get paid off of you.
Right.
Did you see Riddick, Chronicles of Riddick? Where
Yeah.
they took him out to this, he was a merc, and they took him out. The mercs caught him and took him out. They were trying to take him out to some planet where he was to be housed, and they would make so many millions of dollars just for him to be there. They didn't care how long he was there, just as long as they had him. If he died, nobody would question.
Right.
So, but, sometimes these movies try to show us stuff.
Yeah, they always, there's always, man, the biggest thing, and I'm glad because I wanted to get onto this. This is the disrespect of the black woman and the way it's, and the funny thing about this is that this is in wholesome movies, movies that any black person would say, that's a good movie. It has good core values. But at the fulcrum, there's just disrespecting the black woman. I'm going to start with This Christmas. Now, if you Google, I believe the movie is called This Christmas. It's with Chris Brown and Idris Elba is in it.
Mm-hmm. And just for y'all who don't know, Idris Elba is not American.
All right, so here, let me. All right, This Christmas. Yep, so that's the name of the movie. Okay, so if you look at the image, right, you see the family. Now, you have a dark-skinned mother, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have a dark-skinned father, but the youngest child is light-skinned, does not resemble the mother or that father. So, but the father and everyone else treats this character, Chris Brown, like he's a part of the family. He can give a kidney to dad. If dad needs a kidney and we all drunk too much alcohol, we can't give him a kidney. Young Chris Brown can give him a kidney, but the fact is, he's not going to come out looking like Chris Brown. Like if that father and that mother had kids, they're not going to look like Chris Brown.
No.
So when you have a kid that looks like Chris Brown, that means that Chris Brown has another dad.
Well, some people don't understand genetics. White people don't understand.
No, they do. They do, man.
So your suggestion to me that it's with purpose.
With purpose.
That they show
right
a dark near black father.
Yes, with a light, multiracial looking kid. And every of all of our core value movies that we know and love, and we see this as this is a good movie because what it says is that I've been smashing your mom. Like, look, man, that's, like, look, somebody, like, look, man, we just run through your mom. That's what we do.
Yeah, mom.
And your dad, he ain't going to do nothing about it. He going to raise you just like.
He going to raise you just like you his.
Right.
You take care of my son.
Yeah, you chimp. You take care of my son, you chimp. Like, look, man, this is every movie. And people, like you said, man, at face value, just looking at it like, they don't really understand. But they do, man. They understand. I'm telling you, it's a jab. And it's to the point that they don't even have to cast it. Like, look, we got black casting directors who will cast. And the whole idea is like, okay, well, you need. These are the actors that we have available. You know, these are the actors that we have available. He's the best for the job, or he's successful, and we want to put him in the movie because people are going to come to see him, right? So what that means is that, like we said with the dinosaur thing, you have a skeleton, and it doesn't matter what I put on top of it. I have a skeleton, so it doesn't matter what excuse you give me, right? The end result is that it still is a nod back to when, you know, it's like, look, man, it's either your mom was a prostitute, like mama was a prostitute, you know, mama was just a hoe. She was just cheating on dad, you know, like, oh, mama was raped. Like, come on. Like, it's no matter what it is, but they never say it, you know, and you can even go to, let's look at even the Huxtables. You know, even the core, like besides Pill just raping chicks, you know, you got the Huxtables, and you have, I want to say if I remembers that it has that girl with the hair, like her hair, the texture of her hair, like she was in real life,
actually,
she has a white. Go ahead.
Both of the young females, not Rudy, the little kid, but both the daughters were half white girls.
Right, we're half white.
In real life.
Right.
But then you look at their brother, Malcolm Jamal, that's his name, right? Mm-hmm. Look like a Rastafarian.
right. As black as can be.
Yeah.
You know?
So.
Like it's not even just to say, okay, we have a light-skinned girl because the mom
and then
was light-skinned.
So, Maybe those are from another family, man. Another relationship.
Right. Those, yeah. Those are from another relationship that we never.
That they didn't go into explanation about.
Right.
You know, got to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Like even
Chimps.
Right. That one with the Wayans. You had the Wayans. Oh man, even now you got Diana Ross, her daughter. And Anthony, whatever, like that show, Blackface or whatever, like it doesn't matter. Like, look, they always find a way to throw that kid who is biracial, and they never ever talk about the fact, like, how did that even happen? It's like, look, man, it doesn't matter.
No,
you know,
no, man, they. I guess they don't know we know better.
Like, man, because I was watching The Butler, and have you seen it?
No.
Oh man, you gotta watch it, man. The Butler. That was a good movie.
Okay.
And this is not even a spoiler, but in the beginning, like that happens to his mother. You know, and he was like, "Dad, what you gonna do? What you gonna do?" You know, so like, it just lets you know that, okay, and every time you see a family, a black family, mom is dark skinned, dad is dark skinned, and you have this light complected, wavy, beautiful hair, girl or boy, it's like, yo, come on, man. Like, what's up with that?
They trying to send a message.
Right. They sending a message.
Trying to send a message. You just got to read it.
Right. You know, and I'm telling you, man, like any movie, any TV show where there's a family, you know, like you're going to see it. You're going to see that. I mean, it's just like, it's ridiculous. I mean, it would be the same as like if you think of the Brady Bunch and one of those kids, like one of the girls, one of the boys looked like mixed, like they was like black or something.
Here's the primate. Here's the one for them. No, all the kids are brunettes, black haired. All the children in the family are blue haired, except for the one red haired, green eyed, left handed child. And both parents are right handed, and both parents are brunettes as opposed to a red haired. That's the red herring for them.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Who, like, I tell you, you know, like it's, and it's it's not even saying that there's like a small group of like the people that I work with, like the white people that I work with, like they're creating these shows. No, I'm not saying that, but I'm telling you that there are jabs taken, and it's to the point that we don't even know. Like I would cross-examine Spike Lee's any of his families. Oh yeah. I think I'm friends with her.
What?
Yeah. Well, or will be, but yeah, her. I think I'm friends with her.
Well, she's one. Let me see who a mutual friend is, man.
It's gonna be me, but but yeah, man, I would question a Spike Lee's family portrait. Like, and I know it's gonna be legit, but at the same time, like Crooklyn, which I haven't seen, but I think there was a family in that, right? And I believe, and these I'm not saying these movies are bad. Yeah, they're good movies, but I'm telling you, like these are jabs, man. Like these are jabs. Like, come on, man, look at this Christmas. Like, oh man. And they have an uproar.
You better not breastfeed nobody.
They have an uproar. Oh yeah. They have an uproar over, I think it's one of these movies with about Egypt.
Oh, where they got all these
right.
Caucasians,
right.
Egyptians.
Yeah.
Well, they that's their intent, is to deception. Deception is deceive first.
All right, Spike Lee.
Tons of fun.
All right. Good job, Spike. Look at this. If you look up Crooklyn and look at that family, like Spike Lee was definitely, look at that. He's definitely aware. Like, look. Yeah.
They're pretty balanced.
Right. I mean, it's like, all right.
That's how a black family would look with a dark-skinned father and dark-skinned mother.
Right.
Like that.
Right.
But Cosby didn't want that.
Right.
Cosby picked women, females.
Yeah, that he would drug. Yeah. He's like, look, I would drug her. Yeah, get her in. Or like not even that. Who knows? Like, but I'm sure he was thinking like, because he didn't even have that much power when the show even started. Because they didn't know it was going to control black people and be the way that it was. Mm-hmm. So I'm sure he didn't even have a say in the casting.
Well,
he was like, look, man, we got this chimp, we got a little chimp, and we got female chimp. Like, look, man, we need a little chimp. Yeah, like, look, man, we need a little bit of that white flavor in there. Okay? Just a little bit. Just a little pinch. Give me a little pinch. Like, look, we need, and in the write-up, because they have to be very, very descriptive with the roles that they want. You just can't say, I want an African-American girl. You can't just say that.
They're trying to send a message subliminally to us.
Right. But see,
without saying it.
Right. But see, in casting, you can't just say like, African-American girl.
You got to be a dark skin or natural hair.
Right.
Mixed looking, mulatto looking.
Right. That's what you got. You got to put that. You got to say that. If that, because look, what do you want? It's so many. We come in so many shapes and sizes and colors.
And if you protest, okay, next.
Right. Next. Like it's not even a bad thing. Look, they're black, so look, man, we just want like a mulatto.
There's no place that says that a light skinned black is a dark skinned black is a more superior to light skinned black. What are you trying to say?
Right, man. Like I'm telling you, man. Like it's
chimp.
Yeah, it's an attack. I'm telling you, man. Like it's a jab at at the black family, and it's to the point that we don't even know it. Like,
well, the destruction of the black family came in the 60s when they started giving ADC, Aid for Dependent Children, which is a form of welfare for the kids only. So to ensure that that man wasn't living off them kids' check, they had to put the man out. The man had to. You couldn't have a man living in your house. People used to have to hide the TVs and stuff, man. Did you know that, Bo?
yeah.
They used to hide the TVs so that when the social worker come in.
Yeah, my mom used to do that. yeah, man. That's what we used to do that, man.
Wow. Hide that TV. Put that tablecloth over that TV until that lady leaves.
Yep.
But you know how they stopped the social workers from coming out?
How?
Thugs started hitting them up. Them chimps started hitting them up. Just imagine. First of the month, she got her paycheck in her purse. And you can't have no thug in you to have those jobs.
Yeah. Yeah, man, I remember that, man. We used to act like like my dad didn't live there.
Wow. But stuff is wild, man. Stuff is wild.
All right, Doc, let's go ahead and call it because it's late.
You know, I have to say this. Cursing is like wiping your ass with silk. It's so boring not to curse. So I owe you $1, man.
All right. So we have $2 in the can. So now we are at the end. You know the sponsors. We have Bo Knows Music. Go to BoKnowsMusic.com. Get quality online music lessons. Also brought to you by Fidlu.com. Crack the sky and play an awesome riff that only the heavens can create from Fidlu.com. Last but not least, Butch House, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, MMA all day. I don't know what else to say at AdvancedBKJ.com.
And get choked out.
I don't wanna live no more. Sometimes I hear death knocking at my front door. I'm living every day like a hustle. Another drug to juggle. Another day, another struggle. I know how it feels to wake up f***ed up. Pockets broke as hell, another rock to sell. People look at you like used to users, selling drugs to all the losers, man, Buddha abusers. But they don't know about the stress-filled days. Baby on the way, man, bills to pay. That's why you drink Tanqueray, so you can reminisce and wish you wasn't living so devilish. I remember I was just like you, smoking blunts with my crew, flipping old 62s, cause GED wasn't B.O.B. I got P.A.I.D. That's why my mom take me. She was forced to kick me out, no doubt. Then I figured out Nicks went for 20s down south. Packed up my tools for my raw power moves. Glock 19 for casket and flower moves. For chumps trying to stop my flow. And what they don't know will show on the autopsy. Went to see Poppy, they caught me a brick. Asked for some consignment, he wasn't trying to hear it. I'm smoking mad Newports cause I'm doing court for an assault that I caught in Bridgeport, New York. Catch me if you can like the gingerbread man. You better have your gat in hand cause man, I don't wanna live no more. Sometimes I hear death knocking at my front door. I'm living every day like a hustle. Another drug to juggle. Another day, another struggle. I don't wanna live no more. Sometimes I hear death knocking at my front door. I'm living every day like a hustle. Another drug to juggle. another day, another struggle. I had the master plan, I'm in the caravan on my way to Maryland with my man 2 Tex to take over this project. They call him 2 Tex, he told 2 Tex. And when he start the bus, he like to ask who's next. I got my honey on the Amtrak with the crack in the crack of a 2 pounds of hash in the stash. I wait for her to make some quick cash. I told her she could be Lieutenant Chick, got gas that lasts. I'm literally lounging black, sitting back, counting double-digit thousand stacks. Had to re-up, see what's up with my peeps. Toyota dealer gone, had it cheap on the Jeeps. See who got smoked, what rumors were spread. Last I heard I was dead, with 6 to the head. Then I got the phone call, it couldn't hit me harder. We got infiltrated like Nino at the Carter. Heard Tech got murdered in the town I never heard about. Some shit got word of over nickel-plated burners. And I swear to God she won't snitch. I told her when she hit the bricks I make the hooker rich. Conspiracy, she'll be home in 3. Until then I looks out for the whole family. A true G, that's me, blowing like a bubble in the everyday struggle. I don't wanna live no more. Sometimes I hear death knocking at my front door. I'm living every day like a hustle, another drug to juggle, another day, another struggle. I don't wanna live no more. Sometimes I hear death knocking at my front door. I'm living every day like a hustle, another drug to juggle, another day, another struggle. I'm seeing body after body and I'm here Giuliani. Ain't trying to see no black man turn to John Gotti. My daughter used a potty so she's older now. Educated street knowledge, I'm older now. Trick a little dope, buying young girlfriends, just dealing with the dope fiend binges, seeing syringes in the vein, hard to explain how I maintain. The crack smoke make my brain feel so strange. I'm breaking days off the set, no sweat, drunk off my wet, can't back yet because I'm still wet. But when I drive back in 5 at a time, I can clock about 9 on the check cashing line. I had the first and the third, rehearsed, that's my word, kick in the game, these knew my first name. Should I quit? And no, even though they had me scared, yo, they got an 8, I got a tech with air holes. And it's just how this goes in the struggle, mother. I don't wanna live no more. Sometimes I hear death knocking at my front door. I'm living every day like a hustle, another drug to juggle, another day, another struggle.